What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 20 different altcoins today. We're going to be going over 20 of them. It's going to be a rapid speed round, man, because I don't have a whole lot of time, so we're going to be doing this. You guys came at me with the request, so I'm coming back at you with the TA. We're going to go over GTC, Dogecoin, and Mana for Navi. We're going to also move on to Ravencoin, Dash, Verge, and Shiba Inu for Mr. Party Boy. ADA for Mohammed Arafa, Engine GRT for Stan V, Dogelon Mars for Jupiter Lord, Lunacy, Luna Classic for Spiritual Healing, Spiritful Healing, Neutron Coin for Adrian, Zeph, Near Protocol, Orca, and BCB for Chad Shi. Finishing it up with Leo X, NXRA for Christopher Horner, and Solana to finish it all up for Mint Chomihei Love 1942. You guys have the names. I'm going to go through real quick and just without the names say the coins again in the order that I'll be doing them. And I will go through and leave timestamps after I'm done. GTC, Dogecoin, Mana, Ravencoin, Dash, Verge, Shiba, Cardano, Engine, The Graph, Dogelon Mars, Luna Classic, Neutron Coin, Zeph, Near Protocol, ORCA, BCB, LEOX, NXRA, and Solana. The only ones that I gave out their tickers like letter by letter are the ones that I just don't know their names. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get into this. We got a long one ahead of us. Buckle up tight, and if you want to jump through and click those timestamps to see any coins that might interest you, go for that. But if you want to watch the whole video, I think that helps more as far as like overall view duration goes. But hit that like button. I think that helps the most. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and let's do this. Looking at GTC here, I think it wants to move up. I really do think it wants to move up. It's just consolidating, right? You could move down in the more immediate term, but then move up. That's a nice little bounce that you got on the weekly, but that can turn around. Like it won't take much to turn that around. You are looking a little bit weak on your daily. I would think that with this that you'd want to come a little bit lower. That's a nice looking double bottom, man. You got a lot of conflicting things going on. Kind of like a double top with a double bottom here. The RSI to me is revealing it all, so I think that you do come lower. I doubt that you go lower than these lows, but I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower than these lows. So somewhere potentially below $1 is in store for you. So don't be scared if that happens. You might not though, man. I mean, if and when you do go below $1, look for prices around 93 cents to 80 cents, 80 to 93, something like that. That's GTC. If you can continue to get days to close above $1.25, we can talk about you going up higher. But really, I guess it'd be like $1.40 that you'd want to see this thing go up above. But the RSI to me does look a little bit bearish. That 4 hour doesn't look half bad. 1 hour is looking a little bit, yeah. I would just wait for the week to close and see how that goes. It's probably going to go down, but not too much. So that's GTC. Moving on to Doge. Dogecoin, not Dogelon. Here it is, moved up. Wow, I didn't even see that actually. Had a nice little day today. Went up 16%, I should say, yesterday, and now we're already down. You know, I think Dogecoin is making its move. I've been saying this since we had these highs, actually since before these highs. I wouldn't consider personally, and I am considering buying Dogecoin, but only whenever it's below 7 cents again. It very well could go below 6 cents even again. That's absolutely possible. We have all the time in the world, man. We really have all the time in the world. So on these little pumps, don't feel the FOMO. Dogecoin will be stagnant more or less for roughly the next year. It's just how it's going to be. I'm not saying that I won't achieve prices higher than this. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying there's no rush to get into it, man. There's going to be coins that outperform what Dogecoin is going to do in the next year. So if you're looking to put money in it, I don't know if right now is the time personally, not financial advice, but I would wait until it's below 7 cents. That's my genuine opinion. So that's Dogecoin. Let's move on to Mana. Man, I love Mana. I really do. I love Dogecoin too. And I like GTC. You know, those are all coins actually that I hold. I don't hold any Dogecoin at the moment, but I plan to hold some. I have money set aside specifically for Dogecoin, but again, I'm waiting for lower prices. And my plan with Dogecoin is to like take profits that I make from other cryptos and cycle it into Dogecoin before it takes off, and let that Dogecoin rally kind of pump the gains that much more, if that makes sense. That's why I'm not personally worried about Dogecoin, what it does really over the next year, because yes, it can go up, but it'll come down. It's going to be range bound. It's not going to do too many impressive things. If it does start to move up, it's not going to be by much. We're not going to see those Doge moves until 2025. That's my genuine interpretation of it. At the earliest, late this year, very late this year. But enough about that. Mana rejecting the 236. You're at 48 cents now. You know, there is a possibility that Mana could come all the way back down to 33 cents. It is absolutely possible, but man, I'm buying every chance that I get with this thing. I actually have some cash ready to go into this right now. I don't know if I'm going to put it in. I say it's ready right now, but that doesn't mean I'm going to put it in right now. Rejecting this 236 after finding support on your 382, I kind of want to see if we are going to go below 40 cents. I'm anticipating that at the moment. So just being patient. If it goes up from here, takes out this high, I would happily wait for it to pull back, even buying at higher prices. I just don't want to buy it here when I'm personally anticipating lower prices. Daily RSI does look like it wants to come down more. That's my genuine interpretation. Where's it going to go? Anywhere from about 32.8 cents to 36.5 cents. That's my thoughts. So that's Mana. I have very high hopes for Mana. It's actually one of my bigger holdings, and I plan to add to it because it's great, man. Raven Coin here, doing more short-term analysis. Yeah, Raven Coin's going to continue to drop. That's a very bearish daily RSI you have. The weekly RSI doesn't look half bad, but it doesn't take much to turn that into a sad kind of situation. You know, I'm not too happy about Raven Coin. There's a lot of coins that look like this that I'm not too happy about, that they found their lows late last year in 2023, whenever Bitcoin itself found its lows back in like 2022, late 2022. So while everything else, most of the market was going up in that time, you were continuing to go lower, finding lower lows and lower highs. That's not encouraging. And I know Raven Coin has had a lot of feuds, let's call it feuds, in the developer community. There's a lot of people that have branched off into other versions of Raven Coin, and it's like, which one's the real Raven Coin? This one is, but like, there's people that would detest that. I digress, though. I think it goes lower. Where are you going to go in your more immediate term? Low to high. Probably down to your 618, maybe down to your 886, anywhere from about 1.44 cents to 1.7 cents. I feel confident in that. I don't know if you're going to see a lower low. I do kind of have faith that this time you're not going to find a lower low. That's a nice double bottom there, so you might find a slightly higher low actually. But anywhere from about 1.7 to 1.44 cents is where I think you're going. And I would think that you go below this 618. I wouldn't throw this 786 might be exactly where you go, or somewhere in between. You don't have to hit these lines, but that's just an idea. Lower for Raven Coin. Dash now. Dash, out of all these coins, you know, I don't know any of the other coins actually. Like, I mean, I know some of them. I actually know most of these coins, but there's some that I don't know, so I can't speak for those. But Dash, out of all the coins that I do recognize that are on this list tonight, is the one that I'm least excited about. It's absolutely, to me, it's the least exciting one. Continuing to go down, lower highs. I actually do anticipate that you'd see a lower low here coming in. You're already pretty damn close. Look at that. You got a double bottom though. It's not bad. Higher highs in your RSI, momentarily speaking, while having lower highs, rejecting your 123. I think you're going lower, and you're not. If you go below this right here after finding a double bottom, like, you're going to go back down here. I don't think you're going to hold this line, man. I think Dash is going to find new lows, one of the more bearish charts in my opinion, probably down to $20 to $16. That's my personal opinion, honestly, with Dash. I think it has lower to go, and we'll see what it does from there, but I'm not too excited about it. Really what this is it's a lower high and a series of lower highs that's been going on since 2021, right, since the bear market, since technically before Bitcoin started its bear market, but it's not a good look. You can go to Binance, you know, it's been going down for even longer than that. It's not a good look, man. It really isn't. What you did actually with this little momentary high that you had, you back tested support here for resistance. You just did that. I very much believe you're going to $20, if not $16, somewhere around there. That's Dash, man. It's over. It's over. XVG, USD, sure. Consolidating, yes you are. I think you're getting ready to make a nice move up. I think you really are. Something like that, maybe a little bit less, maybe a lot more bolsterous, who knows. But before you do that, you'll probably see a little breakdown, and then you'll move up, right? You'll continue to consolidate. You'll know that it's time to break out to the upside when you see this little move down, probably around 002, if not like 0021, 22, maybe. Somewhere around this low is what I'm anticipating, this low over here, right? On a closing basis, that low. On an actual basis, the other low. That wasn't right. Yeah, like right there, 0021, 0022, somewhere around there, and then you'll move up. It'll probably happen fast. You might be down there for a day or two, and then you're going to move up. That's Verge. So let's move on from Verge. Talking about Shiba Inu now. Yeah, Shiba's going down too, I think. I do think it is. Yes, I know they're having a lot of talks about what about their burns? They're doing more regular burns. You know, what about their burns? They burned 30 million coins one day, and people were all excited about that. And 30 million on a multiple 100 trillion, right? It's got multiple hundreds of trillions, doesn't it? We're gonna do. I was looking up Iris Energy. They're into crypto mining. What was I just gonna do? Shiba on CoinGecko. Circulating supply 589 trillion. So 30 million. They could burn 100 million and like every month, and that won't impress me at all, man. That's not significant enough. I mean, it's enough to kind of, I don't know, technically be deflationary, which is a little bit exciting, but I'm not really too excited about it. Let's get some bigger numbers, but in the meantime, I think it's going to go down. Look at this RSI. Be damned with what the media is saying. You know, the technicals are telling us it is going to go lower than these lows. You'll probably see this thing go, if you were to find a higher low, you would see that higher low anywhere from about, what is that, 5083 to potentially 507, somewhere there. If not, you might be going to 505, 5046. I don't think that it's impossible for this thing to go lower than this low or this low here, but I kind of would anticipate a higher low. A higher low. That's kind of my anticipation at the moment. Again, somewhere around 507 to 5083, probably closer to 5075, something like that. That's Shiba going down. Yeah, daily RSI looks sad. ADA. All these little double bottoms, huh? Across the board. Kind of crazy. Daily RSI doesn't impress me at all, man. I think you're going lower too. It looks like you double bottomed, but really, like, what happens whenever it's like a dead cat? This is literally, guys, when people call it a dead. I see so many people in the space calling things a dead cat bounce. This is a dead cat bounce right here. Dead cat, right? Fell out the window. It bounced a little bit, and then it came back down to the ground, right? Like if you dropped that, that's why it's called the dead cat bounce. As sad as it is, the imagery, if it dropped out of a building, it might hit the ground, bounce a little bit, and then that's it, right? Like, it's not. I mean, maybe it'll just go splat. Depends on how high up it is, but probably get a little bit of a reverb there. I don't know. That's the idea behind it. So, and it happens in the middle of nowhere. Like if it bounced here, that's not a dead cat bounce. That's like significant. This is insignificant. I don't expect it to hold. Enough talk about dead cats. I think it's going lower, definitely. Where are you going to go in the meantime, Cardano? Yeah, you're probably going to go back to 35 cents, if not at least 40 cents. 35 to 33 cents is what I'd give this one, if not at least 40 cents. But that's Cardano. Let's see here. Engine. Is it ENJ? Yeah, it is ENJ. Ooh, this is another one that doesn't have me too excited, man. Still finding lows back in October. Kind of have a flat base with descending highs. It's really not exciting at all, man. Daily RSI looks sad. This double bottom looking thing, man. All of them look the same, but this is at least not like a dead cat bounce technically. But I mean, I still think it's going lower. Daily RSI is weak. I think you have more weakness to show before you get strong. Where are you gonna go? Probably between about 24 cents to 22 cents, somewhere in that range. If not, you might be going lower, man. Why not? You're still in a downtrend. While a lot of cryptos have been bullish, this thing is still performing lower highs and lower lows. So seeing 16 cents to 13 cents is absolutely realistic. Absolutely it is. And you can see that in a very short amount of time. But if not, you might hold this. I'm kind of anticipating at the moment holding 22 to 24 cents. But if you close below 20 cents, it's on, man. It is on to further prices down, that's for sure. That's engine ADA. No, we already did ADA. I'm sorry, guys. GRT, the graph. I'm going to pull this over here so that I just have it in my lap, so I don't have to keep, like, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Coinbase is fine. See what I mean? Like, this thing found its lows back in November, December of 2022. It formed a higher low where a lot of these other cryptos are forming lower lows. Like, this is good. This is good. You know, we can expect that when this comes, probably a higher low and then probably a higher high, you know, something like that. This is better structure. And on top of that, it's like this accumulation phase where it's yet to see its breakout upwards. This actually kind of almost looks like a giant W, but I don't know if it will be. Maybe it will be inevitably, but at the moment I do think you're going down. These are some bearish looking weeks here. Finished it with bearish divergence top to bottom. You probably go to about 11.5 cents, maybe all the way down to 10.5 cents, something like that. I think you're going lower, yeah. The daily would suggest that for sure. I think you are going lower. Man, what is up with all these crypto charts looking the same? That doesn't make it hard, right? They all look the same. They're going lower. It's because they're probably all owned by more or less the same people. The exchanges own most of the coins, right? So Doge, Elon. It's Elon, that's right. We're gonna go on a Dex screener here. Once it verifies that I'm not a robot. Elon. Dogecoin. Let me make sure I did the right one actually. Looks like I did the right one. Okay. Alright, this one looks just like Dogecoin, looks just like Shiba. It had a nice initial pump and now it's down. It'll probably be boring for a while. I wouldn't expect great things at all out of this. I don't know if you'll go lower than this though. If you do, it's totally acceptable. You could go to 70566. You might not go below that zero. You might hold it very well and just continue to move sideways, but I would bet that it's going to be boring nonetheless. But still here, forming new lows, just still in a downtrend. My automatic bias would be that you are getting ready to go lower. Not impressed. Let's look at this. Yeah, this one doesn't even have that double bottom look that all the other ones do, so probably weaker in my opinion, but maybe not. It might be doing its own thing. But that is Dogelon going lower. I don't really have price targets for you. I mean, I kind of gave them out, but like again, you might hold support at 60137. You might hold support at 60123. You might go all the way back down to 7056. Like genuinely, it's not easy to discern. Not a whole lot of price action like history to go off of here. 1618's all the way down here. 1272's in that area. Deeper extensions in that area as well. It's very possible. But I do think you're going lower nonetheless from here. Some people being loud outside, man. Loud motherfuckers. Loon C. Terra. KuCoin? Maybe. Look at that. You had such a nice little pump. A little relief rally here. From low to high. 450% after giving so much away. Yeah, you're going lower. You're probably going lower. 618 rejected the 0.5. You're probably going down. Your next stop's going to be the 786, 886, if not your 1272. Absolutely, for lunacy, for Luna Classic, absolutely that's a real possibility. But I would first look to this 786 at about 407266, if not the 886 at 4062, something like that, somewhere in that range. But I do think you're going lower. Yeah, the daily looks weak. You move down, you're consolidating, you're going to move lower. You're actually starting to slip right now. So yes, this looks like a bullish day. You've got that double bottom look, everything else has, but you're probably going lower. That's Luna C. Neutron coin. Neutron. This is the most bullish chart we've seen all day. This is the most bullish one here. Yep. And I still think it's going lower. I still do, yeah. You know why? I'll give you a second to marinate on it. Just like guess in your head. Like, it should be obvious. And if it's not obvious, you're going to learn a little trick here to make things obvious when you're in this situation. And if you're owning a coin, if you're owning a stock and you see something like this and you feel that denial where you're like, no, this time's different. Like, it can look different and still perform similarly to how it did before. Like, I'm okay. Know that you're lying to yourself, okay? I'm going to go over it right now. Didn't even touch the line here. Moved up. Positive reaction, okay? Touched it, tipped it, moved up immediately. Positive reaction. Tipped it here, moved up immediately. Positive reaction. You've been dwindling. You've been hanging out around here for the past, like, 2 days, 3 days now. No positive reaction. You're doing things differently. You're absolutely doing things differently, right? Lines like this aren't meant to hold forever, like genuinely speaking. Sometimes they do, but generally they don't. They get people excited. You get this is where that like disbelief comes in. That, oh, well, it did this every other time. It's going to go up from here. But no, it is probably going to break this. And then people FOMO, or like they panic sell because they think, oh, it broke this line. That means it's going to zero. No, it's probably not going to go to zero. This is a bullish looking chart, like I said, but it probably does take a back seat for a second. You know, you had a double top off of your overbought zone here. There is some bearish divergence going on there. You basically went up a lot. Healthy growth, I would say, throughout all of it, but you probably have to pull back more substantially. Yeah, you're probably going to pull back to 84.5 cents. Again, that little tidbit that I gave you, right? For if anybody's like trying to add anything to their repertoire of knowledge, like this isn't a 100% thing. Nothing I say is, but this is something that I've noticed in my 7 years now of trading. Okay, is that you find a line like this, and you see it doing this, the automatic interpretation in your head, and probably most people's head. This is why it doesn't work. Is because a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to go up, and most people are wrong. The markets, most of the time, markets are made to take most money from most people. I'm spending a lot of time on this because I'm trying to like give you something in your repertoire of knowledge, if that makes sense. And it's not guaranteed. It's not 100% of a thing, but I would say a lot of the time, you guys, this is how it works. It shows different results than it had previously, so you get different results. That's basically it. It's a different look. You're going to get different results afterwards. And you probably go to this 382 at least. Something like this that's so new, probably a low stock or low market cap coin, it's very common to go back to your 618, 69 area. So as big of a range as it is, between 48 cents to 84.5 cents is absolutely on the table. I would think you do go a little bit below this yellow line, and personally I am anticipating this. There is a very strong possibility that you could bounce off of this. You know that is a pretty strong move up, but I'm not holding my breath on that, man. I think you're about to get things cooking to the downside, so we'll see how you fare, but down nonetheless. Below 84.5 cents, I would think probably closer to 55 cents is where you're going. A greater than 50% drop from here. That's Neutron. That is Neutron. And I'm sure there's a chart with more history than that. I don't need it. I'm very confident that it's going to go down. Neutron, Zephyr, going down. Easy. Very easy one. Very weak on the RSI. Yes. You hate being above the 50. You love being below it. You consolidated here. You're just getting your second leg going down. You're probably going lower. Yeah, you probably are. Bottom to top here, below your 382. See you at 670 to 527. $6.70 to $5.27. That's where you're going. I doubt that you bounce here at the 0.5 in the middle of Nowheresville. You're probably going to come back to previous areas of resistance to find support. You went up, you had your fun. This is what you get whenever you do that. Take the elevator up, you're going to take the stairs down. That's just how it is. And it'll probably move down for a solid bit, like multiple months, like going into the halving. At this trajectory, you could see this sometime in March that you'd be down here. But it might just continue to move down at a solid pace like this. Maybe it craps out for a little bit, and then you consolidate for a little bit. I don't know. But I do believe it's going between 527 and 670. That's my genuine opinion. I spent too much time talking about that. I had a pretty decent feeling about it from the get-go. Near protocol here. It's another one that just basically went straight up, so you're probably going to see some repercussions because of that. Just getting below the 236. I very much do expect, kind of like the last one we just talked about, I don't think that it's going to just go straight down to these areas. It probably will like bounce off the 382, come back up to the 236. Maybe it goes back to the 382, bounces a little bit, and then comes down, and then stuff like that, something like that. But all like leading into the halving, you're probably going to be working your way down. You went up pretty fast. You'll probably come down pretty fast. I do think you'll see prices around $1.76 to $1.57 by the time this is all said and done. But nonetheless, in the immediate term, your daily RSI looks like crap. Your weekly RSI was overbought for quite a while, and now you're out of the overbought zone. That means it's time to get moving to the downside. So you're probably going to go again to about $1.76 to $1.57 is what I'm thinking. So that's near protocol. Moving on to Orca the whale. Wow. Good job. Good job for everybody holding Orca. That's great. Sad job for anybody who bought it up here, and there were plenty of people who bought it up here. You don't normally get the 0.69 resistance, but when you do, like to me, that's a pretty strong signal, and you're getting that rejection right there. Also off of the weekly close there, very much, I believe you're going to go below $1.50. You're at $5.16. You wanted to buy it down here. Well, guess what? You're going to get your wishes. You're going to be able to buy it below $1.50, probably. In my opinion, there's no reason to bounce to the 382 or at the 0.5. I think you're very likely going to go lower than the 618, but maybe you find support in between the 618 and the 69. You might go all the way down to your 786 and even go below $1, but you're going down from here nonetheless. The daily, yeah, little bull trap. That's what they call that right there. That you want a bull trap. You want to know what a bull trap is? That right there is a bull trap. Prove me wrong, get above this high, then it's not a bull trap. Then it's weird is what it would be, but I very much believe that's a bull trap there. Yeah. More volume on the selling day than at critical areas where you'd want to break through, but you couldn't break through. So going down again anywhere from about $1.50 to $1.27 with a very decent potential of going even below $1. That's Orca. Moving on to BCB. BCB USD on MEXC. I kind of want to look at this and see if it's got more history. Blockchain Bets. It's a cool name. It's got a little bit of history. Horizontal channel, you broke out. You might come down to about 16.8 cents. Still a decent drop from here, but it's not as bearish as some things. I kind of think that you formed this range, horizontal range here. Wasn't drawn well at all, but you see what I'm going for, right? Like this range right here. You're probably going to backtest it, find support on a previous area of resistance, and then move up. This looks good, but temporarily bad. I very much would expect that you're working your way down. I would say again probably somewhere around 17 to 18 cents if I really had to guess. You might find support at 22.5 cents, but I would guess the weekly high closes. That's what I would look for. So 17.5 to 18 cents, 17 to 18 cents, let's call it. maybe even a little bit below 17 cents. I'll throw a fib on here for you. I'll throw a couple fibs. Hit that 1618 to a T, bro. Yeah, you're going to this 886 right here. Yeah, you might find support above 18 cents actually, but I would think you at least go to 18.7 cents. If not, it's pretty also equally possible that you could go all the way down to 12 cents. But I would look at that 16 to let's say 15.9 to 19 cent area. That's my genuine opinion. I do think that you hold that like top side of this previous range for support. That one's kind of interesting. This is the more bullish in a shorter amount of time than a lot of these, in my opinion. That's BCB. We're going to move on to Leo X. Leo X, I think I also have to do it on this here. Leo X. That's the right volume. Very small volume, but whatever. Logarithmic moving up. This might be the most bullish one we've seen so far, but that's not saying much. I wouldn't put my money into it, man. Decent week so far. Impressive move. I don't like the way the daily looks at all. This could be a bull trap right here. Let's throw a fib or a relative strength index on there. Daily RSI looks very sad. Yeah, like the weekly, to me that doesn't look bad, but this daily looks bad. It's like you moved up. You've got this like weird little divot here. Like, I don't like it, man. I think you're going to come all the way back down. You're at 74 cents right now. You might come all the way back down to like 35, 33 cents, somewhere around there. Let's Fibonacci this bad boy. $0.40 there. It's common enough to actually go a little bit below your 618 even, so 786 down here, and that's at like better areas of support. I don't know. You might bounce right off of about 40 cents. You might, but lower nonetheless, a lot lower from where you are now. I don't like that daily RSI. I don't like it at all. This screams bull trap, man. I would stay away or get out while you can. Not financial advice. It can go a little higher. It could go up to this 618, still a lower high after having this lower low. Like it doesn't. I'm not impressed at all. I would not put my money in that right now. If it's good, maybe later, but not right now. That's for sure. I'm not putting, and I've got, man, I meant to talk about it whenever I was talking about mana earlier. I've got money sitting on the side ready to buy, but I'm not buying at least until February. At least here we are. It's the end of January now. I did say in the beginning of the month that it might be the end of this month, but as we've gotten closer to the end of this month, I think it's probably going to be sometime in February. It might be early March that I'm looking to put money back into the markets, guys. Things are going to be rather boring and down for the next months, plural. So that's that. Man, my eyes are bloodshot. Man, I need sleep. That only happens whenever I'm tired. I'm not high. I'm sober, actually. Maybe a little dehydrated, but haven't smoked weed since July 4th, man. I'm just taking a little break. I love weed, but I'm going to take a little break for now. Enough about my personal life. You guys hear it when I make my videos, right? I clear out my throat all the time. It's annoying, man. And it's gotten way better since I stopped smoking weed. So that's kind of the main reason, just taking care of myself. As I say that, cough, cough, cough. This might be the most bullish chart. No, I don't know, man. This one still looks like it wants to go down too. Bearish divergence, rejecting the overbought zone. You probably want to go back to about 10 cents, just a little bit below 10 cents. If not, you're going all the way back down to 8 cents. Here you are at 13 cents now. It's not bad, but I wouldn't think, I kind of would expect that you find support somewhere between about 8.5 to 10 cents, personally. You might even find it at 10.7 cents, somewhere around there, but I do think you have lower to go in the more immediate term. The daily's neutral. volume's dying off as you're moving higher. This is like distribution up here, so I do think you go lower. I'm gonna get this real quick. I kind of have a funny feeling about this one that you actually might bounce off your 0.5. If not, maybe you do go down to 8 cents, 7.3 cents, something like that, 7.2 cents. But look for that bounce around 9 to 10 cents. I think you might hit that actually. But that's NXRA, Alliance Block next Terra. And now, finishing it all up with this grand finish on Solana. Also looks bearish on the daily. Don't they all? And look at that, right? I mean, we went over quite the bit of low-tier coins. I'm not going to call them what they are because we might have kids watching. So S-coins, they're crap coins. This is not a crap coin, but it looks like some of the ones we were talking about, right? We're just moved basically up in a straight line. I don't know if I want to take it from this low. I kind of don't even know if I kind of want to take it from this low. $60 with these kind of movements, man. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. I've been calling for Solana to pull back to at least $60 since we were up like above $100, right? Like I know I've been calling for it since like that week there, like since the top week. I didn't call the top. I'm not one of those guys. I didn't, it might have even been the week after. I think it was this week though that I was calling for it, but after it had topped out already. Maybe it was like somewhere around here. I don't know. But I do think Solana is going to move to $60, lower than $60, with a very decent potential of going down to $37 to $32. I know that sounds crazy, but let me take away all of this real quick and just see if it makes sense, a little bit of sense. Okay. And I'll put another circle right here at around this 382 area. 2 potential stops, and I doubt you move in a straight line. You could, but I doubt you do. If we put a line here, previous area of resistance right there, right smack dab in the middle of this consolidation phase, kind of makes sense to go back down there. You had no stops along the way. You went all the way up without any resistance. You come back, that's probably where you're going to go, in my genuine opinion. There's hope to go like right here though. And then again, maybe a little bit lower, right? Because it's common. That's your 382 area. To go a little bit below your 382. What's right below your 382? The top of this previous area of consolidation. But you have nothing in between stopping you. So at least around, I'd say $55 at least is my expectation. But probably, in my opinion, you're going to go to $44 or lower. $44 to $32 for Solana. I know. It might be blasphemous to some people, but nothing moves up in a straight line forever, and when it does, it's a bad thing, right? I'm sure nobody thought here that it would go down that low. I actually did. I thought that it would go. I actually thought it would go lower. I was wrong on that. I made a video. I remember talking about Solana going to $2, and it didn't. It didn't. The reason why I thought it was going to $2, which this is totally irrelevant, but whatever. You had a deep extension down there. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that. But anyways, man, that's Solana. That's everything, man. I think it's all going down. If there was a winner out of any of them, the one that kind of stood out to me the most was probably that BCB. I believe it was BCB. Yeah, because it was the one right before Leo X. Yeah, BCB was the one that to me, out of all of them, kind of stands out. Looks a little bit interesting. Solana, of course, is the Mac Daddy out of all these coins, especially right now in market cap valuation. But I think Dogecoin, Mana, GTC, I think those are all going to do well in this coming cycle. There's a lot of coins on here that I think will do well too. But I'm not going to go and name all of them. But for now, they all look like they're going down. So that's that. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.